Hey G fans, GojiFan93 here, and welcome to our review of episode 5 of the Skull Island Netflix show. We just got finished watching it, and I am here with GojiRex28, Godzilla Reader, and GojiFan2001, and we're just gonna give a quick thoughts of how we felt on the episode in this one. I thought that this episode was pretty good because we got a lot of looks into Kong and the character, not so much the characters, but I think like the plot is starting to move. So that was really good.
This was an improvement over the last episode, so I'm glad about that. We do get some like little mysteries, stuff here and there with like Kong and stuff, and that big old temple that he was in.
Mhm.
But overall, I thought this episode was interesting, and especially the ending.
Yeah, this episode was definitely an improvement from the last one. I liked it. It was pretty good. Yeah, definitely the most interesting part is, well, I guess this is the episode where we actually get to see Kong
Like in full
and
view.
see what's going on with him. And yeah, the temple. Yeah, I will say characters are, well, I guess nothing like, okay, in terms of the plot, yeah, it is starting to move around. And
Mhm.
it seems like we're actually gonna get some answers about some of the stuff happening.
I can definitely say I like this episode a lot more better than the last one. At least now we get to see more of Kong now.
Right. So yeah, we'll just go through the episode now. So we basically start off where now the trio they're like super close to the camp where the organization people are set up, the bird people, is what we're calling them. And Mikey here is really not doing well with his infection that he got from the squid-like creature. So and I think it was, I don't remember who said it while we were watching, but someone mentioned that his skin tone is just getting like grayer and grayer or something, like more pale.
I did.
Okay. Yeah, and I thought that's a good attention to detail with that. I was like, oh yeah, that's true. He does. Yeah, he is continually not looking good throughout the episodes. So that's really good there. So they're discussing like what to do here. They get called back to the camp because now Annie and Dog have actually infiltrated the camp, and now Annie is out for blood for the leader. But the leader then shoots her with a tranquilizer. She goes down, and then this is where we started to get. Goji Rex said it here, but we start to get an idea that maybe this is the mom of Annie, and we'll talk about it later when there's like a tent. They're in like a tent and they're discussing some things, and I think they literally were about to say something, but then they got distracted. So there's something more going on with these two characters. And then the brilliant plan, I actually thought was a really good plan, that they basically they lured Dog into chasing them, which actually then brought out the bird again, or the falcon thing, which grabbed Dog and brought him back up took him away. So and we actually get to find out where like this falcon takes certain things. Now I was kind of wondering if it takes its like prey to the same place every time, or if sometimes it like brings it to its nest or something. So I don't know, but so they're away, and then Mike actually decided, this was kind of weird though here. I don't know, you guys can give your opinions on this too. Mike decides to say, hey, you need to stay here to somehow save your dad, but then I'm gonna go and say, hey, I'm here, and announce myself to the group, and then he gets taken into the camp, and then he just leaves Charlie. Like, what do you guys think of that?
This was
Like, do you think that like
that was weird. This was weird.
like he just
I
leaves
mean-
Charlie?
Yeah,
I mean,
that was like the
I-
dumbest thing ever.
Like, why not just take Charlie with you? Like, clearly they're not hostile. Like, you know.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Maybe there was something wrong with like the writers at this point. They were like wondering, oh crap, what about this one part of the story that we need to go to?
Right.
We need to get there. Okay, let's make Charlie act dumb again and not let him see his dad.
Right.
Which is something that he should have done along with Mike.
And I guess I can understand that obviously they needed Charlie to kind of have his own section for what was coming next, but at the same time I'm thinking like, yeah, that was just so weird, because like, what was Mike thinking? Well, he did say that later in the episode. He was like, it seemed like the lesser of like the evil two decisions, whatever. But I'm like, I don't know, it's kind of weird just leaving Charlie behind. So, and then the logo again, we get the different icon here in the middle, so of a feather. So I guess it's kind of fitting, maybe. I mean, I don't know. Maybe more of Kong would have been made more sense in this one, but so they now have Annie in their camp. She is drugged up, and then we get more. There's more backstory with how I guess she hired Mike and the team without the captain guy knowing to find Annie's island. Am I getting that right?
I think so.
Okay, and then
I don't
because that's what I gathered from it was that because they were trying to take that private money to have an expedition to go to Annie's island, which I guess would make sense though, because if this lady is Annie's mom, maybe she was trying to find her. So I don't know. Again, is still kind of hazy on what's really going on, but so Charlie's trying to figure out what to do. And then we see this mysterious person that just pops up and starts chasing Charlie out of the field, and then does this signal and like a salute, and then gets grabbed by the Falcon as well. And we kind of think that this is a native to Skull Island, which I think that would make sense, right?
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the tattoos on his arm.
Yeah. So he gets taken, and then gets taken to basically Kong's like room,
His own
basically?
little kingdom.
Yeah, kingdom area. And this is I was kind of thinking like maybe the whole pillar that Charlie's on is like the sacrificial place, like where traditionally Kong would grab his victims or something. And he's actually on there with, once we get past, this is more dialogue of just characters just talking, getting a little bit more details here, but I think it wasn't that scene yet. So he finds out that he's actually with Dog on the pillar, and this I thought was really cool. This was a time where I think Charlie got to shine. Like, I know that we don't particularly care about Charlie right now, but I think this scene where Charlie's trying to communicate with Dog, and like Dog's actually like letting his guard down and he's able to become friends with him, I thought was really cool. Like, Charlie actually kind of stepped up in this episode. Like, I feel like
this was the episode to where both of them had to work together.
Yeah.
Even though they don't know each other, they had to work together. Dog just didn't like Charlie, but he basically just came up with the idea that, all right, I gotta work with you to get out of this situation, so let's do this.
Well, the big thing was because he kept on saying like, we got to save Annie, and when he said save Annie, like Dog's ears perked up. He's like, oh yeah, okay, that's right. So
Yeah.
so they devise a plan to sort of scale down this pillar, and then pretty much as they're scaling down, we finally get to this was interesting. So they're scaling down, they see Kong, but it looks like this was like the big before time where Kong actually had the family like of Kongs, and they're fighting this creature here, which is, it's kind of hard to like see what it is, but it's not a skull crawler. I don't think it's one of those things, and obviously it's not Godzilla. So I don't know what Kong's fighting here, or it could just be a random dinosaur. I don't know.
I think I see a tentacle thing like on
right
the
here?
right of it. Yeah, and
Yeah.
then there's the end tip of it on the right.
I just like, it looks like somewhat of a dinosaur-ish looking thing, and then like a tail maybe. I don't really know, but
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
yeah, so I don't know if this is very significant or if it's just sort of a mural that's just saying, hey, this was by the ancient civilization, like, oh, Kong fought this enemy one time. So I don't know, because I think if this Kong's lore is very similar to like I guess I would say like the traditional King Kong story, that Kong is like sort of their savior, so like he saves them from different monsters that try to attack them, so that's why they're putting up that mural. But we finally get to see Kong. He pops in, jumps around, and lands in his home, and then we get to have just a great shot of Kong. I mean, this is like literally boom, like we get to see him. So I mean,
He's growing that beard. He's
yeah,
growing
yeah,
it.
he's starting to grow the beard. Yep. And Kong, like, very interesting that we get like a very solemn kind of like looks depressed kind of Kong, and he's looking over and he sees like this necklace, and he like tries to play with it a little. He looks sad, and I have no idea like what this. Do any of you guys know what the significance of that is? Like, did I miss something or?
From what I've seen from well, this takes place after the
Skull Island.
2017
Yeah.
movie. Yeah, and I cannot recall of a single character that had a necklace that they gave to Kong.
That's what I was trying to
So-
think. I was like, was it Brie Larson's character? Did she have something? But no, I don't think she did. And
No.
yeah, so I don't really know. And I don't think I don't think he's met the little girl yet. So, you know, from there, because I know the little girl, the deaf girl from Godzilla vs Kong, he had a relationship with her because she was wasn't she one of the native
Few
people?
that can- yeah, she's the last member of this natives of Skull
That-
Island, and
'cause it got
she's the only one
flooded.
who could communicate. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was like the only one who can communicate with him.
Something that would have
But
been
this-
really nice to see in the movie, but no, we gotta read the novel to get that information. I don't know, maybe we'll find out. But so they're trying to figure out how to get out, I guess. Oh yeah, because they're like, there's like a big bridge here. I'm trying to get the screenshot. Yeah, so there's a big bridge here. For some reason, Dog seems very terrified. Like there's like the camera just like really focuses in on him like looking down at the abyss. So I don't know if there's something significant with that. So let me go back
Doesn't
here.
like heights.
I guess so. So this is the scene where we get a little bit of an idea that potentially she is Mia's mom. I mean, not Mia, Annie's mom. And because they literally in the dialogue, she was like, "Yeah, we've had quite a month," and then she said something like, "Yeah, she's my," and then it got cut because big whale just flies through the air.
The whale gets yeeted across the damn island.
Yeah, it was quite something. And I mean, at first I was very confused because I'm like, is it flying? Like is it been thrown, or is it floating through the air? Like, is something going on? Like, is it like the hollow earth where it's like the gravity's kind of weird, but like, is it on the surface now? Like, what is going on here? But no, literally this whale just got thrown super hardcore by the giant octopus creature. So Godzilla Reader, yeah, the Kraken, Godzilla Reader, you're definitely, I think this thing is like the main antagonist for Kong. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that we're gonna get a battle
Yeah,
between this.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely. Also,
So-
Kraken is a dick. He literally destroyed Kong's kingdom.
The last thing we get is before the episode ends is Mike is really now not doing good. He's on the ground, sort of having like a seizure, and we see that this infection now is really starting to spread and take hold of him.
Yeah,
So
looking not good at all.
not looking good at all. I'm a little worried. I really hope Mike doesn't die because I'd be very sad. But that is literally how the episode ends, with Mike just on the ground, kind of convulsing. So that is it. So yeah, this episode I thought was really good. I like how we finally get to see Kong like fully. There's a lot of mystery behind Kong's like home now, and we get to see that obviously the ancient civilization still worshipped him and all that stuff. And I think Goji Rex, you said it too, like while we were watching, that Godzilla also had his own like ancient civilization that worshipped him as well. So yeah, it's cool. We get a good insight on Kong's like home, that's one of the things about the Monsterverse that if anything is going to happen in the next movie, the new Empire, whatever, I want to see the backstory of the monsters. Like, give me like what is this ancient rivalry about? What's this whole like this like Kong's family, and then what's significant about it like in relation to Godzilla? Are there more Godzillas back then? Like, was
You
it just
gotta read the novel, Chris.
No!
You gotta read.
No! Damn novels.
I mean, you don't need to read the novels or even the comics, since they're not even connected to the movies at this point.
Ugh, I know. So yeah, but so I would rate this because we haven't really rated in the last episodes, but I'll rate this one. This one I feel is a solid 8 out of 10. I feel like it was very good. The plot's moving along. We're starting to get the answers, and it was just a lot of like tense stuff. So
I would rate it at a 7 out of 10. The scene where Mike just exposed himself to to Charlie's dad.
Yeah, that
instead
was-
of just Charlie coming out.
Yeah.
I guess you can say he did it because he knows like the the Condor team, since he has knowledge about them.
Right.
I guess he did it mainly because he wanted to keep Charlie safe, and he thought that Charlie's dad was like being held hostage or something like that. So I think he did that just to make sure Charlie is safe, and Mike knows that these guys are bad news.
Okay. I mean, I guess that can make sense. It's just how it happened though. He didn't really explain why he left him. I guess he was just like, "Hey, save your dad." I'm gonna go. Ha ha. It's just like,
Yeah, he didn't like say, "Listen, Charlie, these guys are really bad. So make sure you can save your dad,
Right,
and
like-
get off this island and stuff like that."
yeah.
But yeah,
So,
but other than that, yeah, that's 7 out of 10. I enjoyed this episode.
8 out of 10. Yeah.
Eight.
8.
Right. Anyway, yeah, definitely a big improvement. Yeah, definitely like a big improvement from the last episode, and yeah, definitely, yeah, this is where like things actually get very interesting.
Oh, definitely 8 out of 10 for sure.
Oh, 8 out of 10 as well?
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Yeah, so that's it, guys. That's our review for episode 5. Yep. And yeah, we're just excited to see where this is going to go. So I am super hooked, and I want to see how this is all going to wrap up. I'm really hoping there's going to be a giant clash between Kong and this Kraken thing at the end. Like that's got to be like the final big battle. So but we'll see. No, you don't get that. You don't get giant kaiju battles in your kaiju shows. No, none of that. They didn't have the budget for it. So, all right, guys, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys in episode 6, and that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay big, G fans.